Okay, I just saw Lego Batman. Got out of the theater roughly about a half an hour ago. Had to do a couple other things before I got back here. So, anyway, I'm going to take a quick bit of advice and try to keep these reviews shortened down as much, not summarize the plot as much too much. There's still probably going to be spoilers in this. I will say this right off the bat. The screening actually started a little later. It was supposed to start at noon. I don't think it started until about 12:06. At least that's when the trailers came up. Anyway, the opening credits kind of reminded me of the trailer to Time Bandits, which, if you haven't seen the trailer to Time Bandits, the Terry Gilliam movie, it's basically the narrator for the trailer starts off with, "Hello, do you recognize my voice? I do the voice of trailers. This is for time." And the movie kind of begins with the same thing. It's like Batman talking the whole time. It's like, all movies start with a black screen. Warner Brothers, DC, the house that Batman built. Forget you, Superman. Anyway, basically the whole sort of motif of the movie is that Batman needs to learn to work with people and not always work alone. In fact, he actually never catches any villains, but in the beginning part of the movie, he just beats them up. They don't go to prison or anything of that nature, and then leave. And Barbara Gordon is then brought in to be the new commissioner. Commissioner Jim Gordon steps down. Barbara Gordon replaces him. She went to Harvard for police, and then she cleaned up Bloodhaven, and now she's at Gotham to do the same thing. And she wants to work with Batman, but she actually wants to imprison the criminals and not just beat them up, and that upsets Batman, even though he's actually in love with her. So, yeah, I guess now that Killing Joke movie is in continuity. Also, Robin is not part of the picture initially. He's unknowingly adopted by Bruce Wayne. Dick Grayson approaches him, is sort of talking, and Bruce is fixated on Barbara the whole time, and so he's just like, yeah. And then Dick goes, "So are you looking to maybe like adopt me?" "Yeah, whatever, kid." After that, basically Batman comes up with the idea to get Superman's Phantom Zone projector. Superman's in the movie briefly, and I swear he had like a hint of a British accent. I did not catch who did the Superman voice, unfortunately. I might have to put that here. Anyway, like I said, he had a hint of a British accent. Acting-wise, obviously Will Arnett, who was the voice of Batman in the Lego movie, was Batman. Alfred was Ralph Fiennes. Dick Grayson was Michael Cera. Barbara was Rosario Dawson. Zach Galifianakis was the Joker. Zoe Kravitz was Catwoman. Like, all the Batman villains are in here. They even make references to ones from the Batman 66 TV show. Yeah, Egghead, King Tut. Oh, there's one other one that made an appearance. I can't think of who it was, though. Yeah, they're all, I mean, it's all the Batman villains. They make references to all the previous movies. In fact, there's actually a point they reference both the Tim Burton movie and the Dark Knight. The Joker's making his plans, and they're sort of like, "Oh, you mean like the time you had the parade with all that Prince music? Or, you know, the time where you put the bombs on the two boats?" And, okay, so, yeah, Batman goes, anyway, there's also times like Batman goes to the Batcave, and the password for the Bat computer to lock them out is Iron Man sucks. So, yeah, there's a lot of, like, really good in-jokey stuff. It's from the same people who obviously did the Lego movie, so, like I said, there's a lot of geeky in-joke stuff. In fact, at one point, Batman gets the Phantom Zone projector, puts the Joker into the Phantom Zone, which is what the Joker wanted, because he wants to get all the villains, because all the villains are in the Phantom Zone, including Voldemort, Sauron, the shark from Jaws, the Gremlins from the movie Gremlins, the Daleks from Doctor Who, the Wicked Witch of the West from the Wizard of Oz, Dracula from, well, Dracula. They're all in there. And so he also has the Kraken from Clash of the Titans, and I want to say King Kong was in there. It wasn't Donkey Kong. He wasn't throwing barrels or anything, but yeah, they're all in there. They all eventually break out of the Phantom Zone, They come to Gotham. They all work together, break out of the Phantom Zone. They come to Gotham to attack Gotham, and Batman has to learn to work with Alfred and Barbara. She doesn't become Batgirl until like just the bare end of the movie. Robin, he does briefly become Nightwing, but then he goes back to being Robin. And the whole time, also, Robin is familiar with Gymkata, the gymnastics martial arts fighting style. So anytime you can make a Gymkata reference is a bonus in my book as well. Movie itself, you know, yeah, I wouldn't say it was necessarily deep by any stretch of the imagination. The kids in the theater all seemed to enjoy it. It was funny. It was good. I wouldn't say it was quite as good as the Lego movie. I think that did the pacing of the story a little bit better. There were times like it got really the story got really repetitive with Batman constantly wanting to be a loner, and that's just kind of weird. Also, sorry, I'm just trying to root around a few things in my head here. This happened with, I don't know if this happened in anyone else's theater. I don't know if it's the projection or what, but the animation got like really slow moving towards the end. Like not in an intentionally dramatic slow motion manner. Like jerky frames missing in the film. Like people were going toward, there's the end. Anyway, eventually Batman actually has to work with the Joker to save Gotham City because, yeah, the Joker sets off a bomb. The whole part of the Joker's motif is he wants Batman to actually acknowledge him as his greatest villain. Batman doesn't want to do that. And finally Batman does, and they work together, and they actually save Gotham because a bomb goes off, and underneath, and basically Gotham was built on a city of basically loose platforms. And again, making a Lego reference. Anything were to happen below, it would all just fall into the abyss, as the story says. A Neil deGrasse Tyson knockoff scientist says. There were a few other cameos. Two-Face was voiced by Billy D. Williams, from who, if you don't remember, he played Harvey Dent in the Tim Burton Batman movie. Conan O'Brien had a voice in there. I can't remember which character he played. I guess I'll just put it here. Like I said, overall thoughts, it was good. I would not put it as good as the Lego movie. Like I said, I kind of went over some of the problems I had with it. But I would give this a strong B. You know, if you go see it in the theaters, you'll probably have a lot of fun. Be prepared to be in a theater full of a lot of kids, though. Okay, trailer time. We had 6 trailers. I've noticed that a lot with family movies that are shorter in length. They tend to put more trailers beforehand. Like I said, we had 6 trailers. First one was for a movie called Rock Dog, which was about a dog who aspires to be a rock star and goes to a cat for advice. The cat is voiced by Eddie Izzard. It looked pretty simplistic, obviously. Not something that piqued my interest at all. After that, we have Leap, which is a story about these 2 orphans who escape their orphanage and go to Paris. The girl wants to be a famous ballet dancer, and the boy wants to be a famous inventor. And there's kind of a, will they make it? Also a bit of a romantic subplot going through it all as well. It did look interesting, but I don't know if I'd want to see it in the theater necessarily. I don't know how well it would do at all, so I don't even think it would even come here, because this was a pretty... I think it was a Weinstein Company film. I don't know if it would get a large mass-to-scale distribution here to Bismarck, but it did look a little interesting. After that, we have a Disney nature documentary, Born in China. So there's like snow leopards and pandas and, you know, animals native to China. After that, we have Smurfs, The Lost Village, where they discover a village of female Smurfs. It's weird, because the trailer tried to avoid not showing that, but they've already had trailers that show the fact that they find a village of female Smurfs. And no, Smurfette isn't the only woman. This one had a little bit more gags in it. I think most of the other trailers had a bit more adventure subplots into it. Gargamel was actually in this one, though, so it looked pretty interesting. After that, we have Boss Baby. Alec Baldwin is the voice of a baby who's realized that there's not enough love to go around, and there's something that's distracting all the people from loving babies. Yeah, that didn't look very good. I mean, Alec Baldwin had some good funny quips in it, but yeah. After that, we have our final trailer for the live-action remake of Beauty and the Beast with Emma Watson. If I really wanted to watch Beauty and the Beast, I have the animated one here. That will more than suffice me. Okay, so next video after this will be the Elimination Chamber recap and review. After that will be the next episode of the Random Trade Review, which will have a supplemental episode because there's a lot of a backstory in there that I had to do separately. Because of that, working on that supplemental episode, I have DVR'd the first episode of Legion. I have not actually seen it yet. I've been really busy. I mean, I just finished scripting the supplemental episode last night. Need to actually start working on the review proper. See you all next time.